A huge mistake a ton of beginner Amazon sellers make is not tracking their leads and tracking their replens correctly. And in this video, I'm going to give you a full step-by-step overview on how to use the Selleramp Google Sheets feature. You can find more profitable products over time and spend less time doing product research. Let's jump inside my screen and talk all about it. So to start off, guys, what do I actually mean by using the Selleramp Google Sheets feature? So taking a look at this specific item right here, where you can see this is a pretty good looking product. It's got about 170 reviews right here. It's got about a 90K BSR, 80, 90K BSR right here. And we can see over on this website, it's going for about 26 bucks right here. So if we go ahead and plug in 25.74 on the Selleramp profit calculator, we can see right here, that leaves about $5 profit and about a 17% ROI. Now, personally, I don't think that's good enough to go ahead and grab. However, if we go ahead and take a look down here at the chart here on Selleramp and take a look at the year-long chart, we can see there's actually been a bunch of cases where this has been more expensive. It looks like back in July, it was around like 45 right here as well. And then we can see too, back in like April, it jumped up to like 47 right here in March. And then we can also see last Q4 when a ton of stuff goes up in price, this got up to about 48 bucks. So we can see at least 3 different times in the past year, this has jumped up in the range of above 30% ROI or even closer to like 40 or 50% ROI, closer to a $50 sale price. Now, where a lot of beginners go wrong is they'll see an item like this and be like, oh, okay, I'm not profitable today, and then they just keep it moving. However, they make a huge mistake not effectively tracking these products over time. Because sure, this item might not be profitable today. However, we can see a lot in the past year, this actually has been profitable right here. And we can see, taking a look at this discount, this isn't some fancy coupon. This is just a subscribe and save deal that probably sticks around for a while, which means it would make perfect sense for this item to ebb and flow out in and out of profitability over time. So what most people do is they just keep it moving and never come back to this product and never effectively track it. However, what I think makes a lot more sense and is actually going to save you a lot of time and help you find a lot more products is going to be using the Selleramp Google Sheets feature. So instead of just going ahead and keeping it moving, trying to find stuff that's profitable today, we can find stuff that isn't profitable today, but has been profitable over time and track it and take advantage of it when it does become good again, or a virtual assistant can do that for you. What I mean to do that is go ahead and scroll down here and just go ahead and one-click export this out to an almost good spreadsheet in Selleramp right here. You can set up Google Sheets super easy just on selleramp.com. You just hit the Sheets button, connect your Google Sheets account. You can see some of the different examples I have, like almost good, back to school, Q4, beauty replens, out of stock, for example. There's tons of potential with the stuff. You can have spreadsheets designed specifically for each virtual assistant right there. Now we can see this goes ahead and one-click exports out right here. And we can even go ahead and add the source link in here as well and say lots of history at 45 plus, buy cost 25, right? And then all you need to do is once a week or have a virtual assistant come in here once a week, once a month, and go ahead and check if any of these items have now become profitable here. Because taking a look at that Kiva chart, we can see this was nice and profitable over time at several times in the past year. And in the context of coupon codes that don't go away, this means you're leaving a ton of profit on the table if you're not taking advantage of the Google Sheets feature in Selleramp. Taking a look at this specific item right here, we can see this item currently has 342 reviews, so we know this moves. This is an example of a Q4 lead. We can see this is a pair of sweatpants. It's obviously the summer, so it makes sense that demand would be lower now than it is going to be during the winter. However, if we take a look down here at the chart and go to the year long, we can actually see that during November, this item had 62 sellers and was around like 45 bucks. And then during December, the offer count, aka competition, went all the way down to 12 and the price went up to 70 bucks. So it literally went from like 45, 40, all the way up to 70 just in like a month-long period. The competition plummeted. And it would make sense that obviously I don't think it makes sense to buy and hope this goes up in price again. But it does make sense to have this gone ahead and in a Selleramp spreadsheet to go ahead and check during Black Friday, to check during Q4 to see if this item becomes good once again. So for this one, I would have like a Q4 spreadsheet in Selleramp, for example, right here. And we just go ahead and one-click export this out right here. And then we can see this data is going to go ahead and populate right here as well. And we can see went from 40 to 70 in 1 month last year, right? So this one, we don't specifically have a source link for it, but if we did, we go ahead and put that in. And it's just super important to be tracking this stuff over time and just not leaving leads that have a lot of history of being good, or literally, show well performing last Q4 right there. I just think that's a mistake a lot of people are making right there. This specific item right here, we can see is currently going for $24 on Amazon in the buy box. We can see over on the 32 Degrees website, it is $8. However, that size is out of stock. It's another huge mistake people make. So we can see this is a nice profitable product. Spend 8, make $4 profit after shipping, fees, sales tax, etc. The problem is this is currently not in stock. So obviously some listings are almost good. Some listings were great doing Q4 but aren't good today, or just look like they will be good again this Q4. And some listings are going to be good and really nice. Unfortunately, they just aren't available to be sourced today, but lots of websites restock. Unfortunately, you do have to learn the different restock cadence for each website, as each website is different. But for example, in this case, we can see this is nice and profitable. Taking a look at the charts, we can see it's been nice and profitable over time, really nice and stable right here, just currently not in stock on the website. So I would go ahead and one-click export this out to an out-of-stock spreadsheet in Selleramp, and then let that data go ahead and populate right here as well. We can see September 9th right there. Nice and easy. And then another example of a product I like to take a look at, for example, here, as we can see, this listing doesn't have a buy box currently, right? Don't automatically avoid that kind of stuff. A lot of people do. However, if we go ahead and take a look at the chart on this side, and we can see this is like a back to school type item with soccer season going on right now. Back to school is pretty much finishing up right now. That we can see offer count nicely trended down from 19 all the way down to 10 right here, and price went from like 23 all the way up to like 30. For example, right here. And if we take a look at the all-time, we can see that actually happened last year as well, that the competition went down, price nicely went up here, and then we can see during the off-peak months for this specific item, it was like more like 22 right there. So we can see this is an example of a product that literally 2 back to schools in a row has performed really nicely. So it would be a shame to not go ahead and have this spreadsheeted for future back to school seasons as well. So if we go ahead and rock and roll down here, we can just export this to a back to school sheet, for example, right here in Selleramp, to go ahead and track that over time. So the Selleramp spreadsheets I think everyone should have are going to be almost good, out of stock, back to school, Q4, as well as spreadsheets specific to any virtual assistants that you have. That can make it really easy to track and manage your virtual assistants leads as well. I also like the idea of having spreadsheets for any of your favorite retailers too. I think is really helpful as well to go ahead and effectively track your replens and procs over time, because a lot of stuff's going to be good. It's just out of stock. A lot of stuff has a lot of historic profitability. It just might not be profitable today. And one of the big traits of successful sellers that I've seen personally helping a ton of people scale their business is just going ahead and making sure that you're tracking your procs over time and keeping an eye, keeping a tab on certain listings to make sure they're good. Now, how often you check your spreadsheets for restocks or for stuff to become good, that's completely up to you in your business. The cool thing is you don't have to be the one doing that. A virtual assistant can do it. You can share Selleramp spreadsheets with other sellers to go ahead and effectively do that over time. That was something I personally used in my business a ton. It's really important, guys, that you go ahead and get your Selleramp spreadsheet set up. I'll leave a link down below in the description for the Selleramp spreadsheet tutorial video to help you guys go ahead and get that set up. But definitely make sure you have your Selleramp spreadsheet set up correctly so you can track your leads over time, find more profit, spend less time doing product research, and grow your Amazon business faster. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, you get a 2-week free trial of Selleramp on our website, selleramp.com. Let us know any questions below, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one.